Welcome to the Sunday morning service of Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Our centering thought for our time together, I have to say, given recent events, feels like it might have been penned for just this moment. A patriot, by contrast, wants the nation to live up to its ideals, which means asking us to be our best selves. A patriot must be concerned with the real world, which is the only place where his country can be loved and sustained. A patriot has universal values, standards by which he judges his nation, always wishing it well, and wishing that it would do better.
So this morning I will be playing music by composer Bela Bartok. These are the Romanian folk dances, and they are from the Transylvanian region of what is now Romania that is really the birthplace of Unitarianism. And I've found out that Bartok was a Unitarian. But that wasn't my main thrust of playing his music today. It's that he really resisted, that he used his platform as a well-known classical composer to resist what was going on in the world, that he starting in 1933, refused to play in Germany. And he was, very anti-fascist too. And his politics got so far away from what was going on in Hungary, he emigrated to the US. And anyway, so Romanian folk dances, wonderful pieces.
Thank you, Barbara. Your gifts are so appreciated here at Summit. My name is Tom Brower. I am, for those of you who are visually limited, a 6-foot gray-haired man with blue pants and a gray shirt. Summit is a liberal religious community bound together not by all of us believing the same things, but by shared values, such as a commitment to a compassionate, just, and sustainable world. We draw our inspiration from all the world's religions, as well as humanist teachings, science, philosophy, nature, and personal practice. In other words, we're spiritual adventurers, and the world is our library. Not just one sacred text to the exclusion of all else. Many rivers flow into the ocean of truth, and we enjoy drinking from all of them. If you're new and would like to learn more, we invite you to visit our website, summituuf.org. And if you're there, press on the visitors button. Again, that's summituuf.org. If you're here in person, we invite you to stick around and talk to a member or two. Our shared values compel us to acknowledge that our fellowship resides on unceded Kumeyaay land, and that for more than 10,000 years, this land has been and continues to be their home. We recognize the violent history of colonization in California, and we honor the legacy of the continuing presence of the Kumeyaay Nation. Well, we have several announcements today. Let's start with Roland, and then Stacy, Mary, and I'll finish up with one.
Let's party. Buenos dias. We are reviving a tradition that was here, having a Valentine's Day prom dance right here. You are all invited, dressed to the nines. It's on Valentine's Day from 6 to 9 p.m. Please bring desserts. My favorites are chocolate chip cookies, remember that? And there is no admission fee. Everyone is welcome. And if you have sons and or daughters that would like to join us, bring them along, or good friends. Everyone is always welcome here. If you have questions, I will be in the salon after the service today. Thank you.
Are you going to talk about the potluck the next day? Oh, me?
You start.
Okay. Well, and then the fun doesn't stop. The very next day, we're going to have a very special guest visiting us here, and she's offered to play her harp. And she's doing it free. And so what we thought was, let's have a potluck, and then we'll have her play right after the potluck. And I hope so many of you will stay because she is amazing. Her name is Deirdre Sullivan. She's an accomplished performer on the Celtic harp and loves to arrange and perform instrumental music from Ireland, Scotland, France, Italy, and Renaissance England. Her program will feature dance tunes plus enchanting ballads and airs. And you want to talk more about the potluck?
For the potluck, please bring a side dish to share. Chips are not a side dish. Make something that we'll all enjoy. We really appreciate that, and we'll all eat like kings. Thank you.
Well, good morning. I have a special announcement. We've been working on this for well over a year of getting an Earth-centered spirituality group together. So if you're interested in exploring Earth-centered spirituality with other folks, we're going to be meeting at noon on the 8th of February in the RE space. Thank you.
This Thursday, here in the salon, you have one more opportunity to give and help out in the current moment. We're having a blood drive. It'll be this Thursday, January 29th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the salon. For those of you who are new, that is the separate building in that direction on the far side of the parking lot. As it says in my flyer here, 1 hour of your time can save up to 3 lives. Thank you. I now would like to invite Nick to come forward to light our chalice. The chalice, as a symbol of Unitarian Universalism, arose as a beacon of hope in an atmosphere of tyranny. The chalice arose as a sign of promise that the marginalized would never be forgotten or ignored, because they are beloved and precious from the perspective of the holy. This morning, we remember all of the people who have been told explicitly and implicitly, through police violence or government policy, through derision or dehumanization, that they're anything less than whole, anything less than beloved. As we light our communal chalice, may we make our lives a beacon, a symbol of our promise to draw the circle wide, and a sign that we will not rest until all means all. Now please rise as you are able for our UU hymn and aspiration. This is our aspiration. Please be seated. Now, after a month away that has felt like forever, we welcome our much-loved Reverend Casey back to the pulpit with our reading.
Thank you all for that warm welcome. It has been a month, hasn't it? It actually has been a month. The last time I saw you all was Christmas Eve. Let's all take a big, deep breath together. I am the Reverend Casey Marie Pandell, and it is my joy and honor to be the minister here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I am a 36-year-old woman with presently teal-ish colored shoulder-length hair, wearing a black dress, a cream-colored cover with bats on it, and a black and silver stole with the phases of the moon. Whether it is your first visit today or your 5,000th visit today, whether you are in the sanctuary with us or joining us from home, you are whole, you are holy, you are loved, and you are so welcome here. Our reading today comes from the Reverend Leslie Takahashi, entitled, "We Will Pay Attention." As fear abounds, may courage as well. In these times, we know we will need not turn away nor surrender in advance. In the coming years, when asked to turn away, to focus only on our own survival and to disregard our neighbors, knowing the promise of plurality, we will pay attention. We honor democracy despite its unrealized ideals. We who value the give and take of shaping a future understand the importance of those groups and places that are essential to the democratic practices. Honoring the many places that offer sanctuary, we will pay attention. Though attacks on truth may rain down upon us, we will not succumb. What we spread will continue to be rooted in fact and to protect the honest lessons of history. As a truth-loving people, we will pay attention. We understand that the best of what we experienced was hard-won by those who came before us. We will continue to honor our spiritual ancestors. We hold the special grief of those who never thought they would fight for their basic rights again. In the name of our ancestors, we will pay attention. We who have had years of thriving, who have enjoyed times of abundance, hear the cries of those generations who may never experience this. We will think about how we might have a bit less than they have more. For the sake of our children, and all children are ours, we will pay attention. We who are struggling to comprehend all that is lost acknowledge the long and struggle before us. We pledge to engage in joy and fun, care for ourselves and our beloveds, for unremitting our own lives will not speed justice. For the sake of our own good bodies, hearts, and minds, we will pay attention. We will continue to hold the ideas of what our democracy might someday realize. When we are in a position to do so, we will defend others. When we are in need of defense, we will ask assistance. In the spirit of interdependence, we will pay attention. In all of this, we remember that we do not do this alone. Together, we will pay attention. Welcome to worship. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit and join us in singing 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. You will notice it is more than just English today. We are, woo! Thank you, Mar, to the suggestion for using our Spanish language hymnal as well. So make sure you're paying attention to the screen.
Good morning, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Before we sing, I'm going to have the choir help us with something. We do audible exhales on Wednesdays, and I thought it would be appropriate to bring it here. So we're going to take a deep breath in. On your exhale, you're going to make as much noise as possible. Exhale all of the breath from your body and just release everything from your body. So, choir is going to help us be loud as possible. Breathe in. Yes. 2 more in. So beautiful. 1 more. Let it all go. So gorgeous. Thank you so much. So, because we're adding Spanish into today's hymn, we're going to sing the English verses twice. You can join me the first time if you know it, and then we'll sing the Spanish verses twice. Miss Barbara.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, horses, no caravan of despair. Come, let him come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, much.
I do always love when this community is willing to try new things together. Our joys and concerns. Good morning.
Let me see if there it is. My mic is on. Good morning. My name is Mary, and I am 5'7" with pale, freckly skin, gray and red hair, and I'm wearing a blue denim dress and practical shoes today because we're going to go play in the garden. So we're gardening today. And I have an image to show you for our Time for All Ages. Let's see if we can get the image on the screen. We're working on it. It's coming. No. Reverend Casey mentioned this a couple months ago.
Like a month ago, yeah.
Yes. This is the "This is fine" meme. Believe it or not, it's over 10 years old.
Is it over 10 years old?
It's over 10 years old. I researched it. Yes. And, you know, this is kind of, is anybody feeling like this dog? You're just sitting there trying to drink your coffee and the world's on fire. Yeah. You're supposed to say, "This is fine. I'm just going to go do my laundry now." Is it really fine, though? Is it fine?
No.
No, it's not fine. This is unusual. This is not fine. And your body might be feeling it. I've talked about dysregulation before. And I was very grateful that Jerica did some breathing with us. I encourage you to breathe and remember to breathe, because sometimes that's the only thing you can do. So I look to our children. The children are playing. They're still breathing. Not all the children are, though. So just trying to hold our breath and to know that this is not fine. And I know that the next thing that I want is like, what can I do? How can I solve this problem? This is a collective problem. We're not going to solve it on our own. We're going to solve it together. And all this month we've been talking about practicing resistance. It's not really a practice anymore. So like one of the things that the kids and I are going to do today is we're planting a garden. I know that sounds kind of minor in all of this, but feeding our neighbors and having food for everybody, like that's a thing. So it's not really a story today. It's just, it's not fine. And I want you to all look for the tiny thing that you can do, whatever your internal gift is. Maybe it's holding a friend's hand while they cry. Maybe it's going for a walk, touching grass, as we like to say. Maybe it's planting something. Maybe it's writing letters and making phone calls. So just know that this is not fine and that it's okay to feel like it's not fine. And it's okay to find your ways, your own ways to help. We had a book that we looked at this fall in our book club, Social Change Now, by Deepa Iyer. I highly, highly recommend it if you didn't read it. It's also a book you can just look at if you don't feel like reading, because it has a map in there of how each of us can help and what each of us has a unique role to play in the community, because it's community that's going to help us right now. It's our love for each other that's going to help us right now. It's our love for our neighbors. It's our love for our friends in Minnesota. So don't forget that. Hold the love. Hold your values. That's so important right now. So this is not fine. And we're going to go take that energy and we're going to compost it into a garden right now. So I hope you find a way. I hope you all find a way to take the action that'll help it be less not fine. So thank you. That's my story for you today. And we're going to do our UU affirmation today because I feel like we need that physicality. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open hearts, open minds, loving hearts, helping hands. Sorry, my dyslexic brain. And because this is not the light we want the light of our heart. Are we doing this little light of mine? Is that what we have for our children? Oh, we give thanks. We're going to give thanks. This is another great thing we can do. So let's give thanks. And we're going to head off to go plant the garden. Do we have the words that we give thanks? We're working on it.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here, and those
Those
who are
There we go. All right.
Please rise in mind, body, or spirit as we sing hymn 1018, Come and Go With Me. This week is one of those weeks where I'm changing things up on you a bit because that is what Spirit calls us to do. So the reading is not the one that is listed in your orders of service today. If you would like a copy of this later, I am happy to supply it to you. These are words from the pastor Matt Moberg, who is an artist and also the chaplain of the Minnesota Timberwolves. That was written this week in response to what's going on in Minneapolis. If you're a church posting prayers for peace and unity today, while my city bleeds in the street, miss me with that softness that you only wear when it costs you nothing. Don't dress avoidance up as holiness. Don't call silence peacemaking. Don't light a candle and think it substitutes for showing up. Tonight, an ICE agent took a photo of me next to my car, looked me in the eye, and told me, "We will be seeing you soon." Not metaphor, not hyperbole. A threat dressed in a badge and a paycheck. Peace isn't what you ask for when the boot is already on someone's neck. Peace is what the powerful ask for when they don't want to be interrupted. Unity is not neutral. Unity that refuses to name violence is just loyalty to the ones holding the weapons. So stop using scripture like chloroform. Stop calling your fear wisdom. Stop calling and pretending that Jesus was crucified because he preached good vibes and personal growth. You don't get to quote scripture like a lullaby while injustice stays wide awake. You don't get to ask God to heal the land if you won't even look at the wound. There is a kind of peace that only exists because it refuses to tell the truth. That peace is a lie, and lies don't grow anything worth saving. The scriptures you love weren't written to keep things calm. They were written to set things right. And sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is stop praying around the pain and start standing inside of it. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. Growth always is. So may it be, and amen. Hello. Perfect. So yesterday, I spent, and when I say all day, I do mean literally all day, trying to do one doctoral assignment. Just one. And it was supposed to be either a sermon manuscript or an 8 to 10 page paper. Which one do you think I chose? It was technically a little short, but it was one of those moments where the first thing that I woke up to was bad news. I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 8:06, I had a text message from my friend Emily saying there was another shooting in Minneapolis. I will spare you the word that I shouted in bed next to the dogs, but I can tell you it started with an F. And I felt real dumb sitting there all day trying to write a homework assignment. How could that be what I was doing yesterday? I did manage to finish the assignment. I didn't really have a choice. It was due at midnight. But I ended up taking to Facebook at one point because for accountability's sake, when I get stuck on things, sometimes I will post them in public forums because if somebody knows I have to get it done, then I really have to get it done. And someone said to me, "Isn't prophetic witness what should be preached from every single pulpit in America tomorrow morning?" And I said, "You're right. And also, these words feel really hollow." See, I was in DC for 2 classes the last couple weeks. My first one was adaptive leadership, which sounds thrilling, I know. We've actually done a lot of adaptive leadership together since I've been here. It's a conversation for another day. My second class was called prophetic witness. That sounds super sexy, doesn't it? And I thought to myself, what an odd class. And then Renee Good was murdered the week before I took that class. And we sat in that class for 8 hours a day for 5 days and sat in what prophetic witness meant. Now, I can't see any of you on Zoom, unfortunately. Any of you in the room, do the words prophetic witness mean anything to you? Raise your hand if that's a yes. Cool. There's a couple of you who aren't staring at listening to that word and going, huh? Prophetic witness. You'll see I have not said the word tyranny yet, and there's a reason for that. Go with me. Prophetic witness is being able to look at what's going on and not look away. So one of the textbooks that I had to read was Walter Brueggemann's The Prophetic Imagination, which was deeply wonderful and about as dense as an overworked biscuit. So I'm going to spare you guys the details on that one. But what it basically said was during Moses' time, he was a prophet. if you know anything about the Christian or Jewish scriptures, the prophets show up when the world is really bad. When we have broken our covenant with God, if you're looking at the Jewish scriptures, that's when our prophets and judges show up to fix it. But the prophet has a really important job. It's not just to hold the mirror up to everyone and say, this is what's happening. It's to say, this is what's happening and we have to fix it. Now, this is not going to come as a shock to many of you. There's a lot of white people in this room. And there's probably a lot of white people at home too. That is pretty typical for Unitarian Universalist faith communities. How many people saw Renee Good's murder, saw Alex Preddy's execution yesterday, and thought fear for the first time, like real, genuine fear, and said, this is not my country? It's okay. That's been the reality for Black and brown folks our entire existence as a country. So welcome to the fight, white people who didn't feel that before. See, this is prophetic witness right here. This is me standing here and telling you, you cannot afford to look away anymore. Now, we're Unitarian Universalists. I know this congregation has an activist heart, so I am not saying this as a judgment call on anybody. But we have had the privilege as white people, those of us who are, to say, that's never gonna happen to me. And in San Diego, so far removed from Minneapolis, it still feels like that's never gonna happen to me. So this is my moment of prophetic witness for all of you. We cannot afford to look away in discomfort. We have to be willing to sit in the fear and the trauma and, frankly, the suck of the time that we're in right now, because it is coming for all of us. That was made blatantly apparent with these two most recent murders. Hey man, I'm not mad at you, were Renee Good's last words. Reportedly, Alex Preddy's last words were, are you okay, to the woman he was trying to help. They are coming for everyone because that's what power does. How many people did I say were in Minneapolis this week? More than 50,000 marched. Reported ICE numbers are about 3,000. There are more of us than there are of them. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. And I feel powerless. And if you feel powerless too, that's okay. See, one of the things that is the job of the prophetic witness is not just to name what's happening, but to hold the anger and the grief. Because when we have to change systems, it's hard, it's uncomfortable. So today, what we're gonna do is we're going to grieve together. Tomorrow, we can roll up our sleeves and take the next steps. But what I'd like to do for the next 10 or 15 minutes, because I know for some of you this is maybe a great thing or not, for others this is a very painful thing. We do not have a circle gathering after service today because we have our congregational meeting. But I think as a prophetic witness, it is deeply important to grieve and grieve together and grieve in ritual space together. So I'm going to give us at least 10 minutes to just be in this space. For those of you at home on Zoom, the same thing. If you're gonna cry, you're gonna cry. If you need to share something, you can share something. If we would like to share out loud with a microphone like we would during a circle gathering, please raise your hand and we will get a microphone. Sorry, Rin, didn't warn you. My bad. I decided this morning that it was really important for us to sit in this place of grief together. It was really hard to be away from you guys the last 2 weeks. It was really hard to see what was happening and remind myself that I had work to do away from here. And I was so desperate to get back to all of you because I was really, really sad the last couple weeks. And I sat there in my bed yesterday and did nothing for most of the day. And the only thing that helped me get through yesterday was a walk with my dogs and a sugary snack, which, go figure. So, we're going to take a big deep breath together. And we are going to sit in this space. And if it feels uncomfortable, good. Lean into it. And don't feel like you have to grieve alone. If a hug would be helpful, reach out and ask for one. If holding hands helps center you, hold hands. If you want a prayer or a blessing, come up front. We are not in this time alone, even though it feels so deeply lonely sometimes. If there are folks on Zoom who have things that they would like to share, you're welcome to share them in the chat. If you'd like to share out loud, you can raise your hand and we'll make sure we can hear you in the sanctuary. Do you want to share out loud with the microphone, or would you like a blessing? Okay.
I'm thinking about the 5-year-old boy who was taken, who was probably used as bait. I heard yesterday that somebody followed up and went to that detention center, and that the conditions there are just horrible. And that their food is out of date and it's not even fresh. And for some reason, this happening to a 5-year-old is just hard to comprehend. And that's all I want to say.
I thought all I could do is take baby steps, but I will take baby steps.
All day yesterday, I thought of the word witness. And I was reminded today in your talk, Casey, about witness is not passive. It's holding a certain kind of energy of witnessing, watching, observing, and staying present from the heart. And being such a doaholic as I am, I thought of 5,000 things I was supposed to do yesterday. And I literally, every time I got up, some force pulled me back to the couch to sit. And they said, your service is to be still, silent, and just hold a certain kind of energy and let yourself be true to your own experience. And I felt such rage and tears. I literally thought I was going to throw up most of the day. And then just sitting and realizing that in doing that, I was at least contributing the contrast of holding in peace and really centering in the heart. And I think that's the mantra right now, is stay centered in the heart. And I actually then wrote a poem about it. So at some point I'll share that. Thank you.
So I read this thing once that said, it's easier to be mad than it is sad. And I am really, really mad. And I know that I look like a sweet old lady, but I am ready to, like, punch their tires out. Or, like, what about the companies that are renting the ICE people cars? Like, stop. If there's only 3,000 of them, what can we do? Like the resistance, the underground resistance, there's got to be things that we can do. And I'm just imagining all these, like, climbing under a fence and popping their tires or something like that. So I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but thank you for letting me share.
The grief that I'm feeling about the recent events in Minneapolis and in our world is just overlaid on the grief that I feel for two of my friends who passed away earlier this month. Dave Geetson was a keyboard player in one of the bands that I play with. He was 58 years old. He was taking care of his 90-year-old mother, and he had a heart attack and died. A week later, Max Zappi, another friend of mine, another keyboard player, died in a house fire. He was taking care of his 96-year-old mom. He got her out of the house and then died from smoke inhalation, and then she passed away a few days later. And this is it's been an overwhelming month. You know, the personal grief and then the grief for our world and our country. It's just overwhelming.
After being involved with social justice the last couple of years, the MAD, what Pam said, the baby steps, and what you can do in this group is to know your elected local officials and get involved at the bottom. And I don't mean bottom in any disrespect, but there are school board members and everything else, and they are generating the hate that we saw in Minneapolis. So you can get off your duff and at least know those local officials and support those that are similar to our particular views. That was the frustration I had, and I'm feeling much better by doing that than writing officials, particularly our President Darrell Issa and whatever. So start at the bottom, and I mean that in respect, and know your local officials and make the change and support those communities that are in dire need. Thank you.
Yesterday's murder took place 6 blocks from where I lived in Minneapolis, and my deceased wife, Fern, nephew lives a half a block away from me, and so his sister, or Fern's niece, lives in St. Paul, and like I say, her nephew lives a half a block from yesterday's murder. I would imagine David is not in pretty tough tires. I'll call the niece in St. Paul this afternoon and see what I can do. I'm trying to figure out a way to get to Minneapolis so I can be part of, in the streets. It's insane. Basically, it just makes no sense whatsoever. So, thank.
There's plenty that is being held here today that is so far unspoken. Our choir has worked so hard on the next piece of music for you. So we're going to close this time now, and just remember that this is always where we can come first. This is our place of comfort and grief to help get us ready for the next steps. And sometimes, and we'll talk about this more next week, I promise, this conversation is not over. You want to know the next best thing you can do? The next best thing you can do is the next best thing. You don't have to change the world. Just find your next best thing. Tom's going to come back up. I'm so excited about hearing the choir sing.
Choir's coming. But first, we're going to receive our morning offering. Your Sunday morning gifts provide this fellowship with the financial means to help build a better world together. They also keep the lights on and the staff paid. The smallest gift is welcome. If you'd like to give but didn't bring cash, we provide a QR code in the order of service that you can use. If you're on Zoom, please press the Sunday plate option in the chat box.
So back on the theme of resistance, I was thinking of a period where people really stood up, which was, the late 60s, early 70s, against war, against injustice, and really made a difference. And this is from Marvin Gaye's album, What's Going On, which is an interesting one because this particular song is an anti-war song. But his whole album was just really his social concerns about poverty, about injustice, about the environment being degraded, and again, looking at how an artist can somehow get into people's consciousness and really create bigger change.
march anthem, Make Them Hear You.
Today we grieve. Tomorrow we roll up our sleeves and we do the work. I know this is an uncomfortable place to be. It's a painful place to be. This is not the end. This is just the beginning of what we can and will do together. But we have to be willing to look at the really hard parts of it first and say, no more. We say ICE out of our neighborhoods, no more. And if you are grieving and your rage is ready to boil over and you would like something to do today, I will see you at Cesar Chavez Park at 4 p.m. There is a procession led by SDOP and the Diocese of San Diego for a mile trek from Cesar Chavez Park to Our Lady of Guadalupe in San Diego near Barrio Logan. So if you need something to do today, let me know and I will see you there. If you are not ready for that action, we grieve, we breathe, and we know that we can always come back to this place. May we do the courageous thing, no matter how hard it is. Amen, shalom, salam, ashe, namaste, blessed be. After our congregational meeting, go now in peace. May the light within you be a blessing to the world.
We close our service by extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we're together again. Now, for those of you who are new, we usually take a quick break after service and then re-meet back here in the sanctuary for what we call our community gathering, where we discuss the sermon topic. But as you've heard, we're special case today. We're not doing that. We have some congregational business to take care of, a few things to vote on, and we're also going to hear some discussion of safety issues. And I'm told partly safety when it comes to protest in the current environment. So members, please stick around if you possibly can. We need your votes. And visitors, you are definitely welcome to stick around as well. We are a democratic faith community, and you can get a chance to see that in action. Or, visitors, you can head right over to the salon for some food and fellowship, and members soon to follow as soon as we take care of our business. The salon, again, is that separate building in that direction on the other side of the parking lot. Now let's hold hands for our closing circle song.